So another classification of contracts is called unilateral and bilateral contract. So a bilateral contract like is an exchange of promises. I will do this, and the other person also says, okay, I will do this. That's a bilateral contract. But a unilateral contract is a contract when only one person is making the promise. The other person fulfills his own side by performance. So for example, there's a missing person. Yes, and then let's say the family of the missing person puts out a public notice that, oh, if you help us see this particular girl, her name is so, this is her picture, if you see her and you bring her to so police station, you are going to receive 5 million naira. Or there's a missing money or there's a missing property, if you help us recover it and bring it, we are going to give you 5 million naira. So, that's an offer. And then they've made the promise to give 5 million naira, and then somebody sees that property somewhere and takes it to the police station. So the person is performing. The person didn't come out to say, oh, I am accepting this offer, but the person is performing the contract. So they can't say, Shebi, we didn't sign anything, we're not giving. No. Legally, the person who performed the contract is entitled to whatever the reward is. So that's for classifications of contract. But before we round up this video, I would like to talk about elements of contract. Like, what makes a contract? So the first element is that there must be an offer, and the next, there must be an acceptance. Third key element is that there must be consideration, especially when it is a simple contract. When it is a formal contract, you don't need to have consideration for it to be enforceable. But when it is a simple contract, like a formal contract is a contract on that deed, But let's say you didn't make a deed, you just wrote something down, both of you signed, or it was just an oral contract by parole. There must be considerations. There must be an exchange. Something valuable must have been given in exchange for the promise that has been made by the offeror. So that's consideration. And then the consideration should not be vague. It should be something identifiable. So that's consideration. The last element that I'm going to mention in this episode, that must be present before we can say a contract has been made, is intention to create legal relation. Yes, so the person making the promise and the person accepting the promise and giving consideration for the promise, both of them must have intention to create legal relation. It is not every time a promise is made that the parties have intention to, let's say, oh, if you don't fulfill this promise, I'm going to sue you. No. So to round off this particular episode, I am going to advise you, in case you have the need to enter into a contract with anybody, please go along with your lawyer. Consult a lawyer. Don't be stingy with this money. Spend it, oh.